Alright, let's get this party started. This is going to be part 3 of their Operation Flashpoint campaign with OFCRA. They've got a few different campaigns going in various scenarios here. And I think it plays after OPFOR came in and secured this town. And that's going to serve as their spawn point. And they're going to be moving over to the next areas. Blue 4 potentially going to be mounting a counter-attack here, but let's see how things play out. If you want to follow along, feel free to use the mission command, but otherwise this is NATO versus Russian armed forces in a nice World War III style scenario. Let me go ahead and put the prediction up. I'll put it for, let's be liberal here. I'll do 20 minutes. And let's get today's op started. Actually, we'll set it for 15. And I thought Red Alert 2's soundtrack would be a good note for today's operation, so I hope you enjoy it. Regardless, let's go over what everyone is going for here. The common objective today for Blue 4 and Op 4 is to capture this purple zone. That is worth 6 points. There is also a GPS jammer in the AO being held by Op 4. That is worth 2 points for keeping it alive, and it is worth 2 points for Blue 4 to destroy. And then keep your company commander alive by hour 1. That is worth an additional 2 points. So if ground command gets sniped on either side, that gains the opposite faction a bonus 2 points. But those two side objectives only total to 4 points. So again, the real objective is going to be this little suburb here outside of this large village. So we got Blue 4 starting around here. Again, Blue 4's NATO forces is usually a combination of Polish, British, and German forces. And then Op 4 is simply a lot of Russian forces here. Do not already despawn, still 3 minutes have passed the game, blah, blah, blah. Just some simple rules up there. We have some map markers that indicate where friendly and enemy positions are to kind of localize where this position is on the map. Land guardhouse, that's an interesting one. Alright, looking over the vehicle listing here, looks like we're going to have our standard sets of, for Blue 4, the British having Coyotes and Jackals. The NATO leadership is going to be Polish-based with a BRDM-2M-97. Hold on, someone just shot me a message on TeamSpeak. I've just been told that Twig Cane's people are going to be doing something bold, and he wants me to keep eyes on him for his clout. That's funny. But regardless, the rest of Blue 4 here, we're going to be seeing another Leopard in play. Some MATV M2s, which I think are... Actually, I'm not going to say anything on that. I don't actually recall what it is on top of my head. We got some Rosomax in play as well. And then Op 4's assets, we got BTR 80 Alphas, some 2S, yeah, so 2S1s, two 2S1s, excuse me, which are artillery tanks. It looks like Blue 4 is also getting 2 PZH 2000s, which I think are the German equivalent of Paladin. We also have a lot of Typhoons, which I believe are transport cars, if not trucks, but probably MRAPs. Blue 4 gets 12 AT drones, the Crocus, 5 Darter drones, and a demining drone. Op 4 only gets 6 Crocus drones, 3 Darter drones, and a demining drone. I don't see any Shawheads in play for this scenario. Alright. Anyway, guys, we will also have POG later tonight. I gotta announce that to my people. We're gonna be doing a map change and then 3 missions on Northern Takistan, then a final mission for Stelina War Games for the fun of it. And then we'll do one more, I think a 5-mission campaign to close them out, and then we'll do a few one-offs before I reset the campaign with a bunch of new features. So we'll see how things go. Quick question before you get too busy with the op. Is the Helldivers 2 op Saturday a show up and play, or there will be a sign-up? There will be a sign-up announced tonight with slotting tomorrow. That's just one of the many projects we've been working on. Well, mainly Devour. I have to build the roster for it, get the announcement up, and all that shit sorted, and make sure that the server's ready to go for it as well. I hate being busy. I'm really going to look forward to starting up the next Zeus rotation and freeing up one of my slots in 2 weeks. Ah, man, and then just do Korea, Rate, and Stargate for the rest of the month, and then maybe a little bit in the next month, and then start another rotation in the middle of June. We'll see how things go. But anyway, I think enough time has passed for me to do my intro, so how are you all doing? Wee Woo here. Today we have another OFCRA scenario. Let me get the number count down. We have 160 players, so let me put that in the title. And the fact that this is One Life PvP. It's funny, the one of the Polish communities asked me to come and squad lead for him today, and I vehemently refused. Because I really don't feel like doing PvP right now. I recently gave PvP another shot, and it turned out my character was completely bugged, and I had no stamina. So I survived for literally an hour and a half on no stamina, just relying on my own survival skills. And it was funny because I predicted, we were OP4 fighting Blue 4, and I predicted how Blue 4 would do 3 things throughout the scenario, and each time I was correct, and that was enough, what's the word? That was enough gratification for me. So I still got it, but we'll see how things go. Just a question, will Pog be tonight? Just got here and hope you want. I love quesadillas personally, but actually I could make myself quesadilla tonight. 5 tortillas. Damn. Now I'm yeah, I might. I'm debating what I'm having for dinner, but Pog will be tonight. Pog is every Thursday. The pay for campaign is going to be for another, I think, 3 missions, and then we're going to wrap it up with some, like, 4 or 5 normal ops, and then yeah, it should be it, I think. Yeah. Sorry, now it's just, when I think of one thing, I think of the 20 things that need to be done for it, and then I have to think of another thing, the 20 things to do for that. And tonight we need to have some mission dev for the weekend. Then I might play more Homeworld 3 if I can muster people, because I don't really like playing war games solo, because it gets a little messy very quickly. But we'll get through everything ASAP. Ugh. I was sleeping for 5 or 6 hours for a few days, and then my body gave up on me, and I started sleeping into 8 or 9. So yesterday and today, I didn't wake up till like noon. I gotta get myself back on track. But hey, sometimes life be like that. Vehemently? Oh, a strong negative disposition towards it. And again, I mean, that stems from something that was called CCO, which was a 6-hour spawn camp in a corner when I had literally 2 or 3 platoons under my command. And it was painful. And then I finally, like, I did everything by the book. I then rallied, broke us out. And then all I got was a bunch of people bitching at me and my decisions. And I'm like, I really don't care. You do it next time. And that's the thing. I didn't sign up to play that role. I literally filled in for it on, like, a few days prior because no one else was taking it. I'm like, F it. All right, I'll give it a try. And yeah, it was hell. But there were a lot of dumb things that, looking back, shouldn't have happened or been allowed to happen. And if I had the balls I had today, I would have just I would have completely done it differently and probably pissed people off a lot more. One of them was OP4 was allowed to literally set up gun emplacements around our FOB, and we weren't allowed to do anything. I would have ordered my people to start shooting. Like, if they saw someone literally setting up an SPG-9 to shoot at our helicopter within the first minute, no. No, I would have shot at that. I wouldn't have given them an ROE. I would have literally told them, all right, here's the policy. If you see them plant an IED, or if they're on, like, a road and they're digging around, just blow them up. No, I would have been a lot stricter with that mission. But hey, shit happens. because you offer quesadillas last pog. That's funny. Homeworld, if you ignore all the crybabies about de novo and the EULA because they're just kicking up stink about it, it can be enjoyable, but how I rate games is simply, am I going to get, you know, dollar per hour? If it's a $60 game, I got 30 seconds. If it's going to be a $60 game, am I going to get 60 hours out of it? I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to get 60 hours out of it. Campaign's going to take you 8 to 10. And then war games you'll get bored of by probably 10 hours tops. So it's worth a 20 to 30 right now if you play the campaign through a second time. Like, I like to play it on a medium difficulty and then play it on the hardest to do that. But I'm probably only going to get like 30 to 40 hours out of it. They have a roadmap out. You got to pay money or a $20 pass for it, which means that roadmap needs to give you at least another 20 hours of content. I think it would. But right now, like, just based off of my own metric, and I hate that because, you know, I love Homeworld as a series, but, like, dollar for dollar, I don't think it's worth it right now. If you are one of those types of people, though, that you invest in games, like I invested in Darktide, for example, that one I have really a lot of fun with. I drop back for every update, and that was like 30 bucks. And I've definitely gotten my money's worth on that. But Homeworld, that one I'm going to struggle with, and the only reason I'm up here speaking about it is because I have rose-tinted nostalgia glasses for that game, but yeah. I agree. Once mods come out, that's when you'll see a bounce back, but that's gonna take months to years. And take it from the guy that literally plays a game that's all about the modding community with Arma 3. In fact, everything that you are about to see in this OFCRA match is literally a mod, with the exception of the interface, which is just the base game. Actually, this could be Ace's spectator if I don't even know the difference anymore. So, modding will save the game, because Homeworld has a very passionate modding community, so just give it time. But day one for content release, it kind of reminds me of Arma 3, actually. Like, the game is, for the price point, kind of lackluster, but give it, you know, a few months to a few years, and it'll grow. But we gotta be patient with it. But hey, that's what Arma 3's for, that's what Darktide's for, that's what frickin' dare say Arma Reforger's for. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started with this PvP commentary match. Let's start with looking at all of the assets. Again, this is OFCRA, which we see every Thursday, and saying Boone is the best Fallout New Vegas companion. Yeah, he can be one of them, but each one of them have their strengths and cons. But if I have some downtime, I'll dive into that conversation, because I know my Homeworld, and I know my Fallout New Vegas. But regardless, this appears to be some of the Polish forces, so we've got some IFVs in play here. These are the Rose Marks. So they're going to be a counter to the BTR 80 Alphas. I'm going to be honest, they're going to be superior to the 80 Alphas, because those are literally just the vanilla Badgers we see, but retextured and remade a little bit. We have a Crow 50 cal. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I would love to just take this puppy and drive around and snipe people in the tree lines with it, because you can range that thing up to 1.5 kilometers. Literally tree line to tree line, hit the T button to auto range it, and it looks like they're given 4 of them. We have the Leopard back here. We have 2 of the PZH 2000 artillery tanks. Blue 4 has been given a lot. And they've got 12 AT drones, 5 scout drones, and a demining drone, which we haven't really seen that much use of. Because every time they try to use it, it gets utterly blown away. But we got the Command, BRDM, and then we're going to have the British forces over here with the Jackals and the Coyotes. And then both sides seem to have some Iglas here for shooting down enemy drones. And again, we've got these vehicles with those scoped 50 cals. I haven't been seeing a lot of long-range engagements, though. I do see a GMG in play, but it hasn't really seen a lot of action in the previous 2 missions, because this is Mission 3 within the campaign. We do have some Mazes in play, so some medium anti-tank, but again, giving Blue 4 this much autocannon capability should be an interesting call, especially since OFCRA is going to be playing defense here now, first time in this campaign. Oh my god, we have the BRDM2M. a 5-shot Cormet missile launcher platform, but it has to be stationary when it fires. But it can fire 5 of those tubes back to back. That's interesting. I expect that to go drive around in the back line. We got a bunch of Tempest transports. Doesn't really matter. They're going to be playing defense in that zone. OPFOR's 2nd platoon, which, by the way, this is company v company with, 160-plus people. So these are these Tempest MRAPs we saw. OPFOR's main weapon of choice going to be the AK-74, modernized with those sweet, sweet plum mags. We got some of their drones being displayed right here. And then I'm assuming this is their BTR-80 Alpha platoon, which I only see 180 Alpha and the rest are regular BTR-80s. 2S1 seems to be having a bit of a mechanical issue at the moment. Just a slight mechanical failure, I don't, I'm stalling right now because I didn't have my pencil, there it is, to start writing timestamps down. I'm sure Dane will see a fix for it soon, maybe, but that is pretty funny. Anyway, before I forget, Pad, thanks for the 4-month resub, buddy. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this OFCRA PvP scenario. Alright, regardless, I mean, Blue 4 has a lot. Alright, 4 IFVs, superior AT drones. I don't know where that GPS truck is that OPFOR allegedly has. And I don't see any specified equipment here. I'm looking around some more. I see the 80s and the 80 Alphas. View distance just got changed to 200. For what reason, I don't know, but... Oh, I think it's this vehicle is the GPS jammer. Alright, so that vehicle needs to be protected. I'm not sure if it has to stay in the purple zone. I think that's the rule with it. But I'm going to break my view distance just so I can show you guys everything on the AO here. The suburbs are literally these... It's literally just a suburb outside of the previous objective from round 2. So we have these massive open fields. But Blue 4 have a lot of weaponry to dominate the open fields as long as they can get into position. OPFOR probably going to bring their artillery Vics in the back line. And Blue 4, they've got a lot of room to assault. But if Blue 4 wanted to do a proper assault, they'd come from the south and move up these tree lines and then get in. They could put a few of their IFVs and the Crow M2 systems on the far west and southwest to give some nice overwatching support from this neighboring tree line. I mean, granted, from here, from the OPFOR spawns 1,200 meters, but they can auto-range their weapons to that and still be effective. The one issue they're going to run into is being able to snipe units inside of buildings, because by then the building's coming down from... not the building. The bullets are coming down from an angle, and that's going to probably hit rooftops and windows. But you could see Blue 4 move down this small tree line right here. And then there's even a little bit of defilade cover, and they could get really, really close. That does put them at the risk of being hit by medium anti-tank like RPGs, but this little bit of cover... You cannot see that on the map, though. What are the odds the commander is going to scroll and actually see that little hill, though? That's going to be probably a position of opportunity for anyone that's looking in here and sees that that hill's taken. But you got some nice roaming hills here that could potentially be utilized. And no, let me clarify. It is a OPFOR GPS jamming vehicle. Destroying it or keeping it alive is worth 2 points, but when the entire AO is worth 6 points, that 2 points doesn't really matter. Blue 4 could also try to go all the way around on the northern side, similar to the route OPFOR took to get into the previous AO right here, but that's going to require a lot of maneuvering around. So, again, we're either going to see Blue 4 come up north, take this tree line in, get into here, and then attack this AO from the north, or Blue 4 is going to come in from the south, push through these tree lines, and then hit. I'm going to be honest, though. They're 3 platoons, and they've got 1 platoon filled with purely autocannon vehicles. So, in my opinion, take the autocannon Vix. They're going to be best utilized in the open ground, have the Polish force attack from the direct angle so they can mainly focus on overwatching, and then you could send the infantry up this route under the cover of those autocannons, and then send either the British or the Germans north, and then the opposite group to the south, pincer that AO and hit it from 3 ways. That way you force OPFOR to divide amongst those 3 areas and just heavily rely on your support. And then you're also going to divide OPFOR's drone capability, because if 1 platoon gets hit, that's fine. You still have the other platoon to go in, and then the Polish one to support. Bring your drone jamming equipment here, so that the main force doesn't immediately get hit. And then just completely, 3 pincer attack the final AO. And if you run into resistance, so what? Use your artillery tanks and soften up areas that you find with your darter drones, and then just push through. But again, as a Zeus, this is what I would do in a PvE scenario with my faction, because I have the bias of perfect communication and perfect sight. The player base, unfortunately, the #1 thing that's going to fight them here is the fact that they have a limited perception of what's going on, because they're limited to what's reported to them. And that information might not even be true. That might not even be correct. It might be partially correct. And that's why commanding from my POV is nice. But when you actually go down on the ground and you have to deal with the limited information your players give you, it is a gigantic pain in the ass. I would know. So right off the bat, we've got the British moving up. We've got the... Yeah, these are the MATVs. I thought they were the vanilla MRAPs, but I didn't want to misspeak. But it's the German Bundeswehr rebrand of it. And then you got the Rosemarks heading around. So interesting calls here. And then you have to remember, Blue 4 also has a freaking tank. Imagine the tank frontlining with the IFVs protecting it, and then having some drone jammers or whatnot. That could be very, very effective. Zelanius, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, Fallout New Vegas, real quick on the companions, because I always like this argument. I'm going to be honest. Your favorite companion is always going to be probably the first one you run into, because every companion in that game has a pretty cool thing about it. Eddie is usually people's firsts, and then he gets a really kick-ass thing with Lonesome Roads. Boone has a very tragic backstory, but people love him as the sniper. Cass, I would actually say, is a slightly lower tier, but, you know, she has a really cool tie-in with Crimson Caravan and her own caravan, and, you know, dealing with the Van Graffs as well as, gosh, and Crimson. Veronica with the whole Brotherhood tie-in, and then her tie-ins with Father Elijah and the DLCs is also pretty interesting. And then you also meet her lover in, well, you hear of her in Old World Blues, and then you actually meet her in, oh, why am I blanking on it? Sierra Madre, Dead Money, that's it. Arcade Ganon is the underdog companion of, you think he's just a generic guy, and then boom, Enclave. That quest line was really freaking cool. Literally getting the band back together on that one. Lily's, I would say, is also a weaker one. But it is cool to have a Nightkin with a super sledge, especially since her, like, proximity of being next to Oh Baby, which is the unique super sledge, and then giving that to Lily, she literally shreds with it. So if you want a companion with less story and just a freaking... I mean, let's be honest, a Nightkin as a freaking companion. That's dope as hell. And then... Gosh, the dog. Oh, this should be interesting, though. Blue 4 driving right into an OPFOR position. Scope 50 cal, they take fire. That that was kind of silly to send that vehicle all the way up here without any... Because they dismounted forces back here, you would think they dismount in positions where they could overwatch each other. But funny enough, they don't take any KIA from that. That could have ended a lot worse, but that was a little silly for Blue 4 to overextend. Because you also have to remember, Op4's spawn point was right here, so Op4 could very well have rushed. They're at a closer distance from the Blue 4 spawn to that, so they should have been a little more cautious, but they still came out relatively unscathed, but now they know there's a point of contact here. Rex, that's his name. I love Rex's choice with the companions as well, as a companion, because you can give him one of 3 different brains, and each one gives him a benefit. But again, I'd say Rex, Lily, and Cass are weaker in the lore. I'd also argue Arcade is too, but all of them are pretty well written, and they serve their purpose in what they do. I also saw Blue 4 had a bit of a blue-on-blue incident here. They fired GMGs into their own group. But now they've rearranged the GMGs, and they're firing them up higher. That GMG, I think, only has a max range of... Actually, hell, let's look at where they're firing. And then we can see from where they're firing, where they're hitting is about 600 meters away. They're shooting parallel, a little shorter, actually, so 550. And it looks like Twig King's supposed to be getting HEAT, but he's moving right now. We have Ashton 4 pulling all the way around to the corner of the map. I have no idea what they're doing. But that is Twig King's group. He's the one that told me he's going to be doing something a little crazy. But it looks like Blue 4, otherwise, we've got 1 platoon acting as a picket force, but that's only 3/4 of the platoon, because the 4th part is down here in the corner. Everyone else is moving to the south and just going to take the southern approach. Now, normally I would agree with keeping a lot of your forces together, but the natural choke points of this map and the thin amount of tree line really limits the way you can move more than a single platoon, which is why this is one of the few maps in Arma that really encourage a force split on the company level. Which again, it's squad, then platoon, then company. So usually 3 to 4 squads make a platoon, and then 2 to 3 platoons make actually 2 to 4 platoons make a company. In this case, it's 3 platoons versus 3 platoons, but each one have their own leadership elements and whatnot. And I just realized I never went over who was on what side. But again, then again, when you have 160 people, it's tough. But we got Sam and Seismo. Sam being my Sam. What just happened over here? These chuckleheads exploded. I heard that boom. And then Blue 4 is being commanded by... I can't even tell. I genuinely have no idea what killed these guys. The vehicle didn't explode. So did they get friendly fired? Because that's too deep in their territory to be seen by any Blue 4. It might have been a Crocus AT drone that got him on dismount. And I do have a -1 kill here by Oddball, so he might have blown a drone up. Because if you kill someone with a drone, it's not going to register in your kill count. But that might have been an early snipe by a drone. Because I did hear an explosion that sounded like an AT. And those AT drones, they do act as massive AT pieces, so they would cause a multi-kill of that magnitude. As I'm going to be honest, each of the Fallout games, in my opinion, is worth a decent play. It's just, for 76, do you want to deal with multiplayer Fallout? If you want to play with friends, then yeah, that's a good choice. We just heard another explosive hit something. I think it was potentially hitting around here, where that other truck dismount was. But again, it's impossible for me in this interface to track the drones, which is why I liked watching the shot heads, because they were bigger and they made a lot of noise. But beyond that, I can't do much. But I do appreciate that Blue 4 is focusing their fighting on the immediate front with the enemy. But I think with the scoped 50 cals, they have an advantage, but they can't just fire through the tree line to suppress because they're not going to be able to hit much. Though, look at what Op4's done. They dug in right here because they knew they were going to have to hold that line after Blue 4 came in. I'd say best one out of all of them. I'm biased to Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout New Vegas is pretty well written. Fallout 3, also pretty well written. Fallout 4, I think, has some pretty weird plot holes around your son, and just the urgency kind of falls. But, you know, how urgent would you be to find your father in Fallout 3? How urgent would you be to find the man that shot you in the head in Fallout New Vegas? But having a cryptic thing of watching your wife or husband get shot, depending on if you play male or female, and then watching your son get kidnapped, that one out of the 3 just gives me more urgency in it. But, yeah, again, to each their own. But, again, it can be enjoyable. But I wouldn't say any of the Fallouts right now are bad. I'll admit, Fallout 76, when it first came out, though, was a raging pile of dog shit until it got updates and all that shenanigans. But eventually it became good. Most games these days do come out to pretty meh resigns, but especially if they add mods or something, they usually get a bit better. I just realized we looped through our entire music line. It took 30 minutes. Now, if I were to play them in order I'd do it in the order you just gave. I'd play Fallout 3 first, then... Actually, no, I'd switch it. Fallout 3, then New Vegas, then 4, then 76. Literally play them in the order they were released, and you won't be disappointed. It's like I've been telling people how to play Homeworld recently is play Homeworld 1, then Cataclysm, then 2, then try 3. Because from there, you see what elements they went with from the Homeworld games and which one really do sing true and which ones they kind of dropped the ball on, in my opinion. But you also have to understand they had to pull from, you know, people that liked Homeworld 1 and Homeworld 2, and they tried their best to make an amalgamation of it. But there's still a few small things I wish they would patch in. That's just me. And yes, I heard Ghosts of Tsunami released. Not my cup of tea, but hey, hope they have fun playing it. I heard, though, is that the game that got pulled out of, like, 160 countries because of Sony PSN or something? Imagine being a company... Actually, no, I'm not going to give that rant. But you can't do multiplayer co-op? Yeah. Well, for some people, that's enough. No, it wasn't Helldivers. Helldivers was smaller. That one's already been not rectified fully, but they've had a reaction. No, Ghosts of Tsunami got pulled. All right. There's a Crocus drone. Crocus. Weirdly enough, we have a Blue 4 guy Uncon over here. There it is. She's going to go right in. Nope, she's going right. Tsushima, okay, sorry. He turned it too hard and then slammed it into a fence. But yeah, that explosion has definitely been drones we've been hearing. But that, wow. Bit of a fail right there if you, oof. And yes, it happened to Helldivers too, but it did the same to Ghost of Tsushima. Wop wop. Zara, I don't think I have it on command right now unless someone has it in their history. Because I haven't done the prepping for it yet. I need to repaste the Plinko board in it, though. But if we have some downtime, I will go ahead and tab out, add the Plinko list, and then give it to you. So we have some suppression going on. One additional Blue 4 guys down, but they brought the GMG Vic up. They need to keep... I think they just ran out of ammo. They're respawning it. Yep. That is definitely the weapon you want to use in this situation. And yeah, I know that's why I said it's not fully rectified yet, Aura, but as far as I know, they're working on it, or maybe they're not. Ding. But yeah, give me a second, Zara, because do you have me on Discord, buddy? Shoot me a message there, and I can get it sent to you ASAP. Yes, the F with everything in that general direction, but if you have a tree line with fortifications, that's a good weapon to use. We already see some people get knocked out, but again, these guys have it set to when their fortifications get hit, they actually fall slightly. So if he just keeps mag dumping with that GMG, that's all he needs, but now he's trying to get some single shots in. These guys are hugging their foxholes as they're getting eroded away. You got solid down, more shots coming up. And that's definitely doing more damage to the guys here. I'm waiting to see Ari start coming in. Yeah, so more damage being done to Strike. Solid is somehow awake after that. He has at least, the blood is so thick there, I can't even tell you how many wounds he has. At least 10 to 15. Yeah, they're running. Yeah, after you get GMG'd like that, the only response is to run at that point. Otherwise, Blue 4 have only taken a handful of casualties. Op 4, meanwhile, you still have that 3-man group that got killed, I believe, by a drone, but nothing really beyond that. But Blue 4 definitely frontlining. Op 4 coming into Blue 4's spawn. Interesting call there. I think they're trying to find where Blue 4 is. And for whatever reason, they're hiding on the bottom right corner. They're not really advancing. They got the Arty tanks set up. I have no idea what they could potentially be staging for. And then Twigkin, this entire time, his group has been down here. And we hear Arty now firing. They're only 3 dudes. So they're going to probably do the equivalent of a ground-based wild weasel or something. But we do hear the artillery firing now. On that corner, what they're specifically striking, I don't know. There is the potential of an AR-2 darter drone being up in the air that could be now calling or ranging shots here. That would be very instrumental in this fight if they could use drone spotters for RD to hit fortified enemy positions. We'll just have to see beyond that. Looks like Maxim got shot. He's taking more GMG fire because I guess he poked out on that side. Arty's landing over here. These guys coming up, seeing these 3 dead. Funny enough, this was a drone operator group too, so... You know, there is a possibility that these guys deployed one of the Crocus AT drones and killed themselves. Like, it hit a tree, detonated, and just killed them. Because I doubt Blue 4 spotted them. And executed it that closely, you know? Like, they would have heard it and dispersed. So, I don't know. But it looks like they're trying to do medical on them. But they're a bit far gone. You got Arty landing all around the Blue 4 position here. But that has to be Blue 4's Arty. Op 4, we have some Arty back here, and I thought, yeah, no, we've got a random downed Op 4 group over here. I have no idea what he's doing up there. That's some really weird calls. Suppressive fire going out on this truck. The guys in the back are also firing. Shots ripping across. That kills 1. Driver gets shot. Wow. Yeah, driver's dead. Someone in the back is uncon. Another guy in here is dead. 2 more uncon. Ding. Hey, Grenbrig, how you doing? Thank you for the raid. What were you playing? Yeah, we're really seeing these Scope 50 cows going to work today. So they're firing at the units to the left, not realizing that they're taking some fire deeper from within the tree line. Now you got some arty landing close by. I think that's the OFCRA's artillery now firing in. Blue 4, though, I'd imagine these guys are going to be checking the back line for those vehicles. So we might actually see that Vic run into the artillery piece right there. Blue 4, though, being very ballsy to keep their unit right there. As it takes very close artillery fire, they might try to drive it back, though. Had a little trench fight in Viralati. Nice. I don't know. This year seems to be the in for trench warfare. Karma wanted it. OFCRA wants it. You guys wanted it. Even my player base wanted it a little bit. And so did Pog, so that just seems to be the in right now. Alright, so they're adjusting the Vic back a little bit. We could see another fire mission utilized. Blue 4 might run into that one arty tank. I don't know where the other, because OPFOR had 2 arty tanks, but they might have only fielded 1. So that means somewhere in the spawns, there's a second artillery tank somewhere. Also, it's really cool. It looks like they rolled over all the blown-up BTR 80s that were in this area here. Yeah, so they, where all the vehicles died, it looks like they have that shown, funny enough. It's those little details I always like to see. Yeah, so Blue 4 just wild trying to find the enemy artillery, but if they destroy that arty piece early on, it means Blue 4 can use their artillery with impunity without risk of counter battery. That's pretty nice. All right, we hear more artillery coming in. They're trying to range those shots, but we also have arty landing on the tree lines over here, and they're landing very close to Blue 4. And the shrapnel is hitting some of them. We saw a little blood splatter right there. It's a game of Battleship. Are they going to hit right, or is that it? And Blue 4 still holding. Oddball managed to go in and out without alerting Op4 on his spawn. But I find it interesting that Op4 is trying to find where Blue 4 is, because we got fighting right here, but there should be more, right? And Op4 has methodically already checked all of the left side of the map, so now we might see these guys sneak around and try to find Blue 4's artillery tanks and counter. Now we just have to wait and see, which I guess gives me a perfect time to work on this thingamajig real quick. And there's Czar. There you go, buddy. The light isn't on for it, but we do have... Oh, wait, no, it's this button. The Plinko board. I love that thing. That's ready to go for Pog tonight. And in future Daisy shenanigans as well. Vehicle cooked off. I think one of the trucks did. Yep. No, the gas. Funny how the up-armored Tiger died, but the truck is perfectly fine. That's weird. Also, for Daisy on Friday, we found a way to make it even tougher. And when I say we, I mean we buffed the health of all of the really scary things. So now Liru's probably going to struggle a bit more for y'all. Russian bias. Oh my god. They just had a shell land right on top of a retreating squad. Holy crap. That is the most effective artillery shot I have seen this entire campaign. That's 4 dead. Finally. So, some pretty nasty attrition being dealt by OPFOR on multiple sides here. And then you got Blue 4 trying to spot and pick off some of Op 4 on the front. I do appreciate that Op 4 has a defensive line set and the other group's combing around. We could see that attrition dealt back. But Blue 4, I mean, ugh. I'm surprised the Darter drone for Op 4 hasn't spotted anything yet. And then we have a jammer set up in the woods all the way out here. Dang, interesting call. Nexus rotation's when I feel like it. Hopefully in 2 weeks, because I've been busy with a lot of other things. Please be patient. I appreciate it. Thank you. Truck's getting shot at again, though not with a 50 cal. And they're moving out. So I will say for POG, today they only did some weapon upgrades. They got themselves some modernized railed FALs, one with a grenade launcher. They got some better helmets. They changed their T80 UK to an M60A3, which is an upgrade in some areas and a downgrade in some. It was a lateral change. And again, we're doing village clearing in North Takistan now on the southern side of the map, so ambush tactics would be the best for today, Czar. And I think I need to upgrade the, update the site document as well, because we do have an IED factory and that wasn't destroyed. So IEDs would be a really good call today. But that's for later. So we've got Op 4 mainly pulling out of this area. Funny enough, they're bringing some reinforcements down, one of their BTR-80 Alphas to watch the MSR, probably because of that vehicle report. After POG, I will push the sign-out sheet out for POG tonight. It's a collab op, so I don't have it follow the normal sign-up roster of, you know, being out a day or two beforehand. But it'll be out, give it like 10 or 20 minutes after this stream concludes. All right, now we got Blue 4 moving in under the cover of their tank. And it's timed with Hell's March. Ain't that funny? Oh, I kept looking up and trying to see it, but okay, Blue 4 successfully sought and destroy. It looks like they backblasted themselves a little bit, but they found the Op 4 artillery tank. You see that the gun was up, so that was definitely backblast damage. That arty tank didn't even hear him coming. So that was the only one Op 4 was fielding, so Op 4 now has no artillery, and Blue 4 can fire with impunity. You do have Op 4, though, starting to encroach on where Blue 4 was, so they might eventually find and eliminate the Blue 4 artillery tanks. But Blue 4 has gained ground on this overwatching area. It looks like the BTR also pulled back, so we might see a tighter leash around the AO itself, but Blue 4's main force will eventually come in. After OFCRA, not POG. I apologize. I misspoke. I apologize. Dang. I hate that that's ingrained in me. I appreciate it, Czar. So, the POG pay for campaign, I think, is going to only have 3 more missions tied to it. I might stop after next week's mission, though, on the pay side, so we can close out pay for campaign proper, and then we'll have an op where, if there's anything left after that, we'll have for them to capture USS Wargames airship, and then the op to play that out. And then we'll do a 4 or 5 mission campaign. So Blue 4, they don't know that Op 4's pulled out of this region, but they're trying to storm it with their guns. And now do a dismount to check things out. They're going to find all the blood from their suppression, but not much else is up here. And I think they're going to realize with the lack of return fire that Op 4's not there anymore, and they've probably pulled out. But yeah, POG I've got planned for the next few months. We'll probably take a month and a half to 2 months off of any like pay for campaign style stuff, and then we'll bring it back, but I'm going to restart their entire campaign with a lot more features now that I know how things are. I'm sorry, are the telephone poles reflecting 50 cal shots? Those are some strong-ass selenium telephone poles. Look, it's ricocheting the bullets into Blue 4's advance. What are these telephone poles made out of? What in the 7? Titanium string? Fuck. Alright, the other RD tank is over here. So it was fielded. Curie went back for it. So OFCRA still has their artillery capability. We got another Blue 4 force potentially moving up, and these guys moving up cautiously under the cover of the tank. We had an explosion over here. I think the tank got a snipe. We do have a kill on its name and a vehicle kill on it as well. So that might have been a BTR. Yep, fortified BTR with a guy turned out right here taken out. And we've got Artie now hitting the objective here, but it's properly ranged and it's sniping infantry. Oh, that's nasty. So that already has hit in multiple areas and pretty much wiped out another squad. There's only one guy up out of the 6 or 7. More shells coming in. Hitting in front of these 3, at least causing some damage to them. They're already prone. Smart call. But that's close to their GPS jammer. And that kills 1. So Blue 4's Artie has been amazing today. This is probably going to be a stomp out. Oh! Second shell! Literally blows the guy forward. But yeah, no, this has been the best artillery I've seen in the entire campaign so far. Like, very, very good stuff. There's been at least 8 or so deaths on OPFOR that have been because of enemy artillery. So that's been great. Blue 4, meanwhile, storming another OPFOR position. OPFOR does not have a lot of manpower left. But Blue 4 are playing this so damn well. You've got this platoon winning their fight, the main force coming in, they've already sniped a group, artillery hitting stuff in the back line. This one Wild Weasel group taking out enemy artillery in the back line. I mean, Blue 4 have just systematically... I'm going to be honest, I think they've already won. Normally you can't call a match early. We just entered the mid-game. But Blue 4 have just done so much damage on so many different fronts. And where they aren't winning, they're trading evenly. Now you got their vehicles out here, and they're firing at some of the bodies from the artillery, I bet. Right here, yeah. You got that truck cooking off, another truck cooking off, but... No, Blue 4, this has been a very well-executed OFCRA match. The one thing I'm looking into, though, is what happens now with OPFOR sending some infantry around to do a counterattack. Because we have 2 of the IFVs in the back line here, and OPFOR could potentially ambush them. But at that point, I think Blue 4 have the manpower to still take the final objective. But anyway, OFCRA divided into it's a 90-minute round. I divide it into 3 30-minute sections. Your first 30 minutes are your early game, which there's been a lot of action on. Your middle 30 minutes, excuse me, are your mid-game, and your final 30 minutes are your end game. Got Blue 4 doing a bit of an advance. They have a wounded guy in the back. And the vehicles are just trying to storm this position. And they're mag dumping some of the bodies they see back here. OPFOR is only down to 4 infantry on this tree line. They're doing their best to hold the southern advance. Also, I love the forests on this map, the little chunks of it. This really does feel like a forest. Forests are CQC hell. And you definitely have that here. Look at that. Little group of Op4 and then this massive Blue 4 advance coming in. Meanwhile, looks like the two Rosmoks have decided to move forward here away from the Op4 encroachment. Looks like they took a casualty, though. And that's probably what prompted them to run. So now Blue 4 know that there's an Op4 group on their rear. We'll see if those artillery pieces move. I'm not jinxing them, but Blue 4's played everything right so far. Op4, even if they were to snipe the artillery pieces now, they've done their job. Maybe they'll get a few barrages in on that tree line as Blue 4 advance, but just looking on the map and seeing the number difference. Pretty messy. Snodgeberg gets picked off. Grenade comes up on strike. He tanks it. We need to see this Blue 4 group advance in. We've got some suppressive fire from the flank, though, trying to pin Op4 down. Really well-placed smoke grenade. If that was a frag, that would have potentially gotten a double kill. That frag goes short because it gets caught in the fence. So far, so good. Got Op4 still coming on the back line. Blue 4 keeping their artillery Vics back. I mean, we could also see that vehicle come in clutch. If it were to properly range a few shots, it could get some pretty nasty multi-kills here, but the question is if. A lot of ifs here. And funny enough, it hasn't really been thanks to the new assets on Blue 4 either. When I saw the start of this round, I saw that Blue 4 got a lot of new fancy stuff, especially with the Rosmoks, but they haven't done a single thing yet. Except just been glorified transport. Everything has been with either the artillery or the Coyotes and Jackals that, you know, Blue 4's already had. Great shot by Ricky here. He's taken multiple hits. And a grenade finally gets him. I'll be honest, these last four did a really great last stand here. They knocked out quite a few Blue 4 to the south, but now the northern Blue 4 group's going to come in. It's just Strike that's left. Mr. Tox is uncon. Ah, no, he's not. He wakes back up. The Caster Bless is also a Caster Curse sometimes. We don't know what's going to happen, but if I mention them, something's going to... No! Why do I open my mouth? Why do I open my mouth, chat? I want to bring life into this world, and death has decided that is not the case. The duality of my curse. And Gaiden finds the last one and manages to headshot him as he crawled up behind a body to disguise himself. So that entire attack has been wiped. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, there goes the other Op4 artillery tank. And it's a hit, and it's destroyed. Top turret literally blown off. And that is Blue 4's job of sniping all the RD pieces done. Now I can tell you Blue 4 has absolute artillery control, but they might not keep it because you do have Op4 starting to drive into Blue 4's artillery positions here. Yeah, it was a clean shot, gonna be honest. What's Whiteside doing back here? Is he just chilling? No, he's checking his inventory. I see. Whoa, he's the drone operator. Interesting. So I didn't know that. If I select the drone operator, I can see their POV of the drones. So you got wombats here, and you got... All right, now I know. Perfect. I've been wishing for a way to track drones in Spectator, and now that really helps me out. And I think anyone with a drone terminal, if I just go into their POV, and then look, I can see any of the drones active in the AO now. And yeah, because we have all the caucus drones back there, the demining. Yeah, there we go. So this gives us much more insight. We have a darter drone, I think, helping OFCRA track the artillery pieces there. And then they don't have any other drones on the map, so I think they've backpacked everything else. All right, now we know. And as I've been saying for years, I learn something new about this game nearly every day at this point. And it just helps me provide better content for y'all. And there's probably that one guy in the crowd that went, oh, I already knew about that. And it's like, yeah, well. There's probably 20 things I know about this game that you don't. That's what I love about this. It's just, there's so much esoteric knowledge in this damn game. Yeah, the arty tank is none the wiser. You know, actually, they might have, the IGLA guy might have detected the OPFOR drone and seen it encroach on them. They might have started running. Because I did notice the drone placement was over here, and they did have a Blue 4 IGLA guy looking up in that direction. So he might have randomly been able to get a lock on. And that might have spooked him a bit. I know, it only took like 2.5 years of Arma 3 gameplay. 24/7. And that's an RPG hit. No cook-off. Second shot. Oh! I think he got him on like the very tail end. No, he missed. So it just cooked off from the single round. Ooh. So that's one arty tank down. The other one hiding back here. But Blue 4 also going to lose their arty. And we're just going to see the final fight come in. OPFOR sending a squad up. Though we have Blue 4's company command. Could get spotted and eliminated by this OPFOR group coming along his rear. Oh, it just knocked me out over here. It wasn't, it was cook-off, but it was timed to look like that miss exploded. And you know I'm in a good mood because I'm not making up some bullshit lie to tell you, yeah, that's exactly how this game works, like I normally do because I love trolling people, but yeah. Arma be like that sometimes. Alright, these guys are literally 120 meters away. 148, damn. Well, the closest guy, I think, is 120. We're to click on him. 126. All right, now I feel better about my estimate. And you got the main force stopped at this little T. This guy's staying in that little foxhole right there. But again, I think Blue 4 has the manpower just to overwhelm and occupy the final garrison without any command. In all honesty. And Blue 4 wises up and starts moving out, not realize there's an entire squad behind him. Spooky. Artillery tank's now moving to the corner, probably because it realized it can't contact the other tank. Wait. No way. No freaking way. What? What is this? What is this? The infiltrators. The false flaggers. They stole a... No freaking way! What do you do at that point? What do you freaking do at that? No way! No way with the grenade! What? What was that bullshit roll? How did it not kill him? I don't know what's more bullshit, the arc of that grenade or the fact that they survived it. It was a heat-seeking grenade. What? I have so many questions. Now they're going to come around and flank the remaining survivors. So that's a squad wipe. That's an asset wipe. The infiltrators just keep on killing. And they don't have any of the kills credited to their name because it's been cook-off explosions. Now they got OPFOR completely folding back because they think that Blue 4 is attacking from the north, which is giving their main force direct access to the final AO. There's literally nothing in between Blue 4 and the final objective. It's a double bullshit grenade. It heat seeks, but it doesn't do any damage. You got OPFOR tracking Blue 4 commit. There's so many crazy things with this scenario. Honestly, if these guys were smart, they'd pull out and just move out on foot because they just single-handedly pulled all of OPFOR in the region to them. But now we know, just do Blue 4 bullshit team and with the British and you're good to go. But just look at what we have on Blue 4. Look at all the lack of skulls. We got Kremet. That's it. And then we got 2 in Ashton 1. And then you scroll down. Most of the guys that have died have left, but let's do a comparison. So all the way down to Rizbo. So we have a page and like a fourth of the page, and then Blue 4 from Fawns. We got Laser. They are literally 2 pages full. Hold on. It sometimes auto-scrolls me back to Hawkeye, and then a third. So we have 2 full screens and a third versus 1 full screen and a fourth. So Blue 4, by that, pretty much outnumber OPFOR 2-1 by now. And OPFOR doesn't have anyone in the defensive zone, so Blue 4 is going to be able to waltz right in there, set up defense, and then force OPFOR to fight offensively at a 2-1 advantage. Look how all those OPFOR guys came back thinking it was a northern advance. And then you got these guys in the trench line, just 4 dudes walking around. Not at an angle to see this advancing Blue 4 group that literally outnumbers them 4 or 5-1. And that's just that one group. How's that RD tank doing? Oh, it's coming up the right. Looks like OPFOR has now committed everything to following Blue 4 up north. You got Demovar here like a bloodhound. Triple timing. As Blue 4 ground command just lazily going. Why the fuck would you leave that behind? Why would you leave such a beautiful asset behind? I hope OPFOR steals him. I want to see OPFOR steal one and kill 20 infantry with it. Make it happen. Come on. Come on. Hey, Kremet. You exploded. How are you doing? Yeah, you were in the RD tank. That was, I think, an AT drone exploding. I don't know what that was. No, that's the BRDM AT missile. Yeah. So it just tried to put 2 missiles on the tank, and it looks like it missed both. You might have been... Well, both sides started with darter drones, though. And we already saw that Blue 4 group steal a Tiger, so I'm assuming Op 4 could steal the Crow MRAPs, but it looks like they are not. Okay, if hell froze over and you caught me playing PvP and I found one of these... I'd have fun. Just, you're mine now. And then Blue 4 cautiously entering the purple zone, trying to find where Op 4 is. I swear to God, it looked like someone got run over, but it looks like that wasn't the case. Remember, kids, when looking... oh, now they're already in the trenches to try to find where that group of 4 went, but are they still 4? Oh, yeah, they are. Remember, when crossing the street and you hear a vehicle coming, jump in at the last second to see if the driver's paying attention. Similar to how if you have someone behind you being a jerk, you brake check them, just to make sure they're paying attention. Right? Yeah. Follow me for more wonderful advice that you totally should do. Also, my lawyer has told me that I only give advice. It's not legal advice, and you shouldn't do a word I say, but who believes in silly little lawyers anyway? Got the tank engines probably slowing down this group advance. That was, again, the BRDM firing. I just don't know at what. Because the only thing down there is... That's weird. No, I don't think they have an angle on them. That's too far. All right, now you got the rest of the British platoon coming into town. The other 3/4. Excuse me. What the hell is this? They're going into town? But there's no reason. You can just hold this position. Why would you, in an uncleared area, which granted you probably have your drone operator, Dayton, saying that it's relatively clear, but why would you go on the flank between 2 Op 4 positions in an open field by vehicle cover on your own with no support? That makes no sense. Oh, I am waiting too, Zar. That would be hilarious, but I think they slowed down because they heard the tank, and now Blue 4's all regrouping. I'm not sure if Blue 4 realizes they just need to take the jammer zone. They don't actually have to go for that area, too. It's so random no one would notice it, you know. That's fair. They don't have perfect information, so I don't think they realize the sheer amount of casualties Op 4 has. With that perfect information, I could see something silly like this happening, but it's... Can we all agree it's still dumb? Please. No, they need to capture the purple zone. Oh, no. I get it now. Blue 4 need to capture the city, and then the GPS jammer's in the purple zone. That's where I'm getting it confused. Okay, my bad. Strategy would be the same either way because they're both next to each other. So that explains why they're advancing that way, but still, through all of potential Op 4 territory, did the BRDM just got sniped. Now, did it get sniped by a tank or a Crocus drone? I'm assuming the tank. Yeah, it's on 3 kills now for vehicles, so just one-tapped that poor bastard. Imagine unironically stepping into a BRD. Yeah, it didn't really work out for that group. Granted, they had the 5-shot ATGM launcher, but still, that thing... If you could make a tier list out of ATGM launchers and stack them, that one would be on the bottom. It's the definition of a glass cannon, but in PvP, if you get spotted with that thing, before you can even properly deploy it, you're probably dead. I'm waiting to see if this OPFOR group comes up, potentially has a shot on the Leopard with RPGs from behind. But it's interesting that we're going to see Blue 4 get into this AO, get sandwiched by OPFOR along the rear. And we got some groups coming in and picketing immediately. So if I recall correctly, the GPS Vic was hidden somewhere in this upper part. And Blue 4, they see fortifications, so they're going to blindly suppress them. Do appreciate that they also reflected some of the battle damage. I thought there was some more artillery damage over here, but they did it to this part, at least, from the previous fight. I just wonder if the tank's going to transition and start dominating the open fields on the right. So we got Blue 4 scanning all that area. We're about to enter late game, but Blue 4's in the perfect position just to send everything in. That's arty. Ooh. So we just had a random RPG go out, kill a guy, knock out another. And now we're having artillery landing a little further behind the building here. That vehicle is already disabled. More shots coming out, gets another knockout. And the autocannon is now pumping shots into that building. Well, Kremet, I mean, Blue 4 definitely had the best arty today. There was at least 8 kills attributed to artillery, and we might get a few more because they're hitting the building. I'm not sure if we can collapse that building, but hey, I'd love to see them try. And then, frickin' Cardboard, a.k.a. Twig King's 3-man infiltration team sniping the other RDVIX on OPFOR. That was pretty fun to watch. Yeah, OPFOR panically leaving that vehicle, worried it's going to collapse under artillery fire. And that's 10 kills for Blue 4 artillery. Yeah. Ouch. Strategy-wise, Blue 4 have all their forces coming in. OPFOR still on the tail of Blue 4 ground command. Maybe they'll catch them running in the open right here and snipe them at the risk of giving themselves away and Blue 4 realizing they got forces behind them. Let's watch. Wait a minute, is that a guy? Oh, there's a dude moving right there. Hey, yo, buddy, get up here and look at this guy just running through the tree line. Yeah, that is indeed a guy. Yeah, oh, shit, that is a guy. He's got a radio backpack. Do we shoot him? He's kind of far. I could nick him in the leg. Nah, let him go. That would give us away. Let's charge after him. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's go after the guy. Now, I can't verify that's what they actually said, but you can't tell me that's not what they didn't say. At least until someone speaks about it later. Anyway, BR... No, Rosmar got hit with... And it's gone. Anyway. It was there, and then it wasn't. Looked like it got hit by an RPG and cooked off. So this first wave of infantry getting its butts kicked, but we have a massive amount of reinforcements coming in. And we just heard a vehicle explode. It was, I believe, a transport truck, though. It's funny, though. All of these bodies are here because of the artillery, though. I remember the GPS truck, I think last time I saw it was somewhere around here. So eventually we'll find a truck cooking off somewhere over here. Again, I want to say it was this forest. Yeah, it's up here. So this group will eventually find it, cook it off, and then come in and reinforce. We'll hit the hour mark in like 30 seconds. I don't think either side lost their ground command. But you got to remember, if he was killed off in that exchange, OPFOR would have gained 2 points because they have a requirement for that. But look at this one OPFOR garrison, and then this freaking platoon and a half of Blue 4 coming up around it. Half a squad versus 2 platoons. It's not going to work out too well. All right, Mr. White gets a kill. Can he get 39 more? Suppresses the corner only to get shot away. Yep, so both sides gain the 2 points for keeping their people alive, so I lied. It doesn't give you 2 points, it deprives 2 points of your enemy. But still, 2 points somewhere is 2 points somewhere. Both sides now have 2 points on the board, but the sheer amount of Blue 4 in the zone. And that's really funny because they killed him not 10 seconds later. Blue 4 command just got spotted and sniped back here. Talk about timing. But yeah, no, all of Blue 4 is in the zone at this point. We just saw... Is that a cruise missile strike? Ah. So I think that was scripted. Blue 4 took out the GPS jammer. So I think a cruise missile strike comes in when you destroy it. I don't think it killed anybody. I hear Artie coming in. Uh-oh. OPFOR, if I were you, I'd run. So I think it was meant to hit this fortified position up here because that's a really nasty place for OPFOR to defend because we saw Blue 4 defend it pretty well in the other match. So the remaining 30 minutes are going to be committed to OPFOR either trying to hit the rear of Blue 4's main force and holding the city center. But Blue 4 have just a massive amount of manpower remaining. Tank, nope, tank is damaged. Crew bailing out, they're taking fire. I'm gonna be honest, I think the tank was... I think it served its purpose, though. Yeah, missiles were stripped at the west side. Yeah, because the GPS jammer is down. That's what I'm assuming. Because those cruise missiles, I think, were GPS guided. So I got OPFOR moving along the rear here. We still have one Blue 4 artillery tank on the side. And then one group back here. Ding. Capture what, Czar? The tank? Well, it looks like they got it field repair and they're trying to book it out of here. There are, usually in OFCRA, there's a few assets you're not allowed to steal, and I think the tank would classify on that. But I love how you have the RPG gunners trying to get out. Another good hit, and that might have hit right on the track. He gets blown away by the second one. Those went right into our engine block, though. I think this tank is done. Third one comes in, slams right into part of the crew compartment. Nope, it goes low into the tracks as well. GL goes in. That's not going to do much damage to the tank because its armor is rated to defend against those. Never mind, it was an armor-killing GL, and a fourth rocket goes overhead just to be safe. Hey, look, OPFOR trying to hold the hospital. How's that going? Ooh, it's not going too well. You're right, that was an APGL. What do I know? I only have like 2,100 hours in this game, you know, I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. Sommer blitzing the dude survives and manages to headshot the final Russian. Ouch. Now you got Blue 4 being attacked from the rear. Looks like they're trading casualties here. We got knockouts on both sides. As the other Blue 4 group comes in and starts dealing with the final garrison. So this has effectively split Blue 4's attention on both sides. Rigel tries to run around and flank this one guy, only to get shot, and the fire literally starts at that second, stops at that second to save a blue-on-blue incident from occurring. Good call. Oh, grenade? It ended up behind the pallet, and that totally saved this one machine gunner. And then we just had an explosion blow Demovar back. As Blue 4 now advancing into this area, Sam is hiding in the bathroom? He's hiding in a shower room. That's funny. And there goes another Blue 4 vehicle. Okay, chat, if you were a vehicle driver and you see an exact copy of your vehicle destroyed in a position where you know bad guys are, where should you not go? Where should you not go if you see an exact copy of your vehicle destroyed in an enemy position? Where is the place that has the danger? Clearly, the first vehicle drained all of the enemy AT. That means if we go there, we'll be fine. Oh my gosh, we're dead! Bluck comes in and Blucks that poor guy to death. I love Bluck's name for that one reason. It's lonely in the spectator interface, but if I go over this, you don't see it anymore. How about that? Skipoo tries to push into this building, and Alex blows him away with the PKM? PKP? It's a PKP. So both sides are trading a little on the even side on the south. North, Op4 have these nice garrisons, but Blue 4 have the infantry to push them. So unless they do a really good pull holdout defense, it's not going to go well. You got one more vehicle coming in for Op4. Blue 4 have a few guys in the back, I think, grabbing more drones, and we still have the Blue 4 Arty tank, but everything's too danger close to properly call Arty in. So now it's just down to the CQC. Blue 4 trying to set up a CCP at the hospital. Great place to set it up. And they're trying to outlast the Op4 counterattack to the south, which is down on its last legs. Could see some reinforcements come in, but looks like they're driving around. They might try to deploy in a different area. So the Op4 attack is separating into two positions. We've got Wonder throwing one of those det grenades into the CCP, causing more casualties, but he is then taken out. Could he wake back up, though, because he's only on con? Sommer now suppressing the tree line. We'll check back on him in a second. More Op4 trying to eliminate Blue 4 players trying to come in on this one building, and we have a snipe. From these cheeky guys in the rooftops. Blue 4 have cleared the first block. They're going to start moving to the others. Blue 4 also clearing out all these positions. What are the odds they find Sam in the shower room, though? All right, Wonder's still uncon. We've got a few Op4 trying to clear on the other side of the town. Okay, we have two IFVs here. And a third IFV back here. What are the odds that IFV pulls up next to the other two and gets RPG'd? So we have the RPG gunner right there. More Blue 4 getting shot as they desperately try to enter this building. I don't know what's in this building, but they clearly want it. More artillery landing, though, on Op4 positions. Well, welcome back, Sixor. Hope you keep enjoying it. But yeah, just, I don't know what's in this building, but clearly both sides want it. So let them fight over it. Blue 4 running up to some Op4 position as well. Op4 buildings getting hit with Arty. Another RPG fired in that area. And Arty, ding, wah. Czar, I don't think so. The Op4 garrison here is, or the Op4 attack wave there kind of fell apart. Looks like the vehicle has arrived on the northern side, could try to trickle in. We still have a lot of Blue 4 to trickle in, and I don't think Op4 have the numbers. Looks like Wonder woke back up, though.
Taking more suppressive fire as most of the actually all the mass cas has been resolved. People are either brought back or dead. We had one of those OPFOR guys in the back get spotted, picked off by Callie. Callie needs to double tap though. So many people forget to double Thank you. Now we got OPFOR trying to come on the opposite side of this Blue 4 established CCP and see if they can find a good angle. But they're the last, well, no, we still have Wonder on the side, but he is being stalked by Cheeseburger with an MG4. 20 minutes remaining. This guy really struggling to get a hit with that machine gun. You have an MG4, buddy. Just hold the trigger down. There you go. But he had some help from the side. Now we got Mulzer trying to hold out. Runs out of ammo, and Nubas finishes him off. Nubas doesn't know to double tap Summer. Or Sommer. Yeah, Ivno missed 5 of the BRDM shots on the Leopard. We got a double tap there on that machine gunner. So a little bit of a pushback here, but I'm going to be honest. This was an entire platoon of Blue 4 that has been mostly wiped. So it's really up to this group to hold. We could still see a bounce back. It's unlikely, but it is possible. Just because there was a lot of casualties down here. And OPFOR, I mean, they could keep doing these rush tactics. So it's getting to neck and neck. Blue 4 have definitely lost that 2-to-1 advantage they attacked with. That building takes damage. We just saw a lot of unconscious markers disappear. Dang. I know we've seen worse. We could still... It's really up to either side at this point. If OPFOR keep doing these little guerrilla tactics with their numbers fighting larger groups, it could really work out for them. It's just a question of can they get away with it. And then Blue 4 still have artillery support. Oh, we still have a vehicle back here. But numbers-wise, Blue 4 have that number advantage here, but that could change. That could certainly change. Look at all the medical use in here. Good God. I think OPFOR heard the people in here. Look at that grenade! Mr. Cool, I think either he saw movement through the fence or he heard them on yelling. That was a beautiful RGN impact grenade det. And now he's firing through. That's why you don't want to be on yelling. Blue 4 have some reinforcements they're pushing up. Mr. Cool being cool as a cucumber under fire here. And I just heard another vehicle explode. Oh, that's the BTR 80 that's been down for a while finally cooking off. Krebs wakes up to find everyone in his squad dead. Bluck running. Bluck finds him and immediately eliminates him. And OPFOR trying to pull back, but that's that entire Blue 4 group nearly wiped, and OPFOR could trickle in a few more guys. A random grenade kills the other Blue 4 guy, just one remaining. It's Dennis the Menace. Can you remind us why he's called Dennis the Menace? Or is Bluck gonna... Oh, Bluck goes around the fence. Mr. Cool pre-firing. Dennis knows Bluck fopped the fence, so he's gonna try to go around. Oh, he climbing. And we hear Blue 4 artillery opening up. Dennis does have a radio, though. He could call for close fire support. Wonder pulls out. And they trade. I hear the already shooting. They're firing smokes everywhere. Literally everywhere. You said you were joking about Blue 4 throwing. Again, I think there's more Blue 4 in here than OPFOR, but That could change. It's always a fight for this building. We have another wave of Blue 4 trying to come in to breach it. They're going to find nothing but bodies and death on the first floor.
6 now.
Got an Op 4 guy that's been matrixed into this zone. They're double tapping everything. Zealous, thanks for the 13-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. What are the odds it pulls up and gets blown up when we get a 3-for-3 deal? Are they firing that point blank? Oh, yes they are. They're just, what? I think they're firing smoke shells. So we just saw a Blue 4 RPG gunner just try to destroy a Blue 4 friendly. Crazy fool, I said you were joking about it being thrown, but damn. And any Op 4 fire is immediately being honed in on by Blue 4 kill teams. No way. No way. Oh! Oh my god, and there goes Twig King's Reign of Terror. Wow. Smoke grenade dropped on Ash. She's dropping 2. And he almost gets blue on blue by Wiki. Vehicle just staring at him like, you good? You cool? Yeah, friendly wiggle. I'm waiting for Titan to come up with the AT. And that was an Op 4 guy dinged. So one of the two, that building's now fully clear. Good call. I mean, that just goes to show you when you defend a proper town, you do need that 2-to-1 advantage, don't you? And it looks like Op 4 came up and eliminated the artillery vehicle. Will Cookoff kill anybody? Block somehow dodges the Cookoff by vaulting a fence. Okay. Arma 3. You want to dodge Cookoff? Vault a fence. It screws with your hitbox. And it got RPG'd. Titan, me boy. Please tell me it wasn't you, lad. Titan. Titan, you monster. It was a friendly vehicle. Minobi, why is Jack unconscious? Oh, God. Yeah. He had that UBM. He had the Polish equivalent of the PKM. He wasn't living. Unless he got that first shot, lucky headshot, he was not living. Alright, Blue 4 outnumber the remaining Op 4 garrison at least 2 or 3-to-1 at this point. It looked like Op 4 had a chance, and then it was swept away. Nasty. Double tap on that body right there. You gotta remember, even when you're uncon, you do count as a character being in the final zone, but Op 4 at least have, I want to say, a dozen, maybe definitely less than a dozen if they don't, and then Blue 4 have at least 20. Well, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many are in the Vic? 9, because Wombat's using the drones. He's got, yep, 2 that are still followed in. 10, so Blue 4 have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So a near 3-to-1 advantage here by Blue 4's infantry. And it looks like that's about to be changed by Snobus. Get him, buddy. Use your machine gun. Ah, bipoded MG, but he can't line it up. 2 for 2. Can he get the third? He's running. Get him, Snubbus. Oh, he's reloading. He didn't have the full 100 rounds. Who will be the better Nubus here? Will it be Nubas or Snubbus? He tries getting some double taps. He's fine. That's a drone. That is a Blue 4 drone. So, who's the unlucky... No way! No way! Only to get side executed by Settler. Oh my god! That was pretty funny. Oh, Sam got spotted in the shower. Looks like he traded with speed there. Yeah, there's 2 different Crocus drones in the AO right now. One is Op4, one is Blue 4. And one just detonated. And the Blue 4 one's still up. Oh, God. Well, someone had some AT and decided to end that vehicle's life. Okay. Sure, why not? Denying the enemy transport. If it worked in Generation Kill, it'll work here. Op4's down to 5. Sam, I think, got double tapped in the shower. Yep. And we've got 7 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. It's GG. Sam dropped the soap in the sour room. The soap. Ah, man. Blue 4, yeah, it's just, you're going to have 7 minutes of just waiting around. The final countdown. So overall, Blue 4 definitely had the advantage. Not the advantage, they just had the better tactics throughout. They had the better artillery. So this was 160 plus players, so roughly an 80 v 80, and there were at least 10 KIAs to artillery, which means artillery for Blue 4 killed at least 12.5% of Op4. That's a pretty nice number. And then Twig going out with his guys, killing the other 2 artillery tanks, charging in the middle, killing a VTR, disabling it, and then killing like half the squad that pulled in. They also killed roughly 10 dudes with that. Total. And then I watched Twig get blown up by an arc grenade, which was funny, but they got another 12.5%. So literally a fourth of the Op4 player base got picked off by 7 dudes. 2 2-man artillery tanks and then a 3-man hit team. 20 for 7. That's a pretty good ratio. It was human highlight time. I knew you were going for the RD tanks, but what happened at this T intersection was just funny. So I wonder how many times they're going to battle for this town, if we're going to see it in another 2 or 3 weeks. Literally, both of them just 2-tapped each other. That's a cruise missile. Oh, that's a cruise missile! Hey, look, some debris. All right, wake up war. Kajonovich, double tap Wombat. Okay, this time double tap him, but actually kill him. All right, Wombat, wake up and shoot Kajonovich. Damn, I think they're too far gone. White side, double tap Wombat. Oh, yeah, no, that entire Blue 4 platoon that was down there did get wiped. That was pretty funny. I did see the drone following. That was pretty good. Let's see if this guy can get him. Yes, honey. I did not. I was working. I apologize. Yeah, after this, I got to put up a roster, and then I have to get PogZop done, and then stream Pog, and then, what?
The way your eyes went straight to them.
Miss, I'm trying to do a job here.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you don't have any free time referees? Not a minute? Not a bit? Not a single instance of free time?
I can try to find some free time. Why do you ask?
I don't know.
Honey, it is impossible to have a normal conversation with a woman with triple D breasts or above, okay? And if you keep grabbing them like that, yes, I'm gonna keep looking.
I like that the person was like, did I hear boobs? Do they have auditory sounds now? Excuse me, let me just... I
Ding.
hope your mic picked that up. I hope your mic picked that up. Yes, the sound of the tiny version.
Ash just got his 4th kill. I'm still trying to do my job, woman.
Well, I was gonna ask if you wanted to go grab dinner at Taco Bell and burn these cards.
I don't have the time to today, hun. I'm sorry. Another Op 4 guy gets picked off across the buildings here. I could too, but unfortunately I have work.
Do you want me to order Taco Bell?
You can order whatever you want, honey. You're an adult. Fuck, someone was teasing me with a quesadilla earlier. Do they do quesadillas? But if I'm doing Taco Bomba, we're getting tacos. Okay.
Why not get both?
This will be done in a minute and a half, so if you pull up the menu, we can, we can't go get tacos because I have to then put a roster up immediately. I can't, honey. I'm sorry. Not Taco Bell, Taco Bomba. It's the local taco chain that is really good. All right, 1 minute remaining. 3 op for about 25 plus blue 4. It's what? 3 to 8? No, it's a 1 to 8 ratio. But yeah, came in a bit close on blue 4 there, but blue 4 did win. Now we're just waiting for them to wrap up. Yeah, Az, go ahead and pay it out. Give me a minute. Let me wrap this up, okay? And then we'll go. Not go. I'm sorry. We'll go over the menu. No, we can't go because I have to immediately start typing up a roster. Oh, well, Bror, happy birthday. "10 seconds. So we got Ash trying to pull out. I think he just got his, it wasn't his 5th kill, but he got a knockout. There's the end. He's calling his shots, and there you go, 10-2 on Blue 4. Anyway, guys, we'll be back in 3 hours for POG. I'll start the stream a little early because it is a pay-for campaign, but otherwise, yeah, overall, this was pretty well done. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of the day or night. Cheers. Have a good one. As an Arma 3 content creator, one of the most common questions I get from fans is where can I find a good Arma 3 unit to play in? One of my biggest recommendations is milsimunits.com. You can click on the Arma button on the main browser, and it'll take you to a page where you can see various different Arma unit listings. Each listing has a nice picture representing the unit, a brief synopsis, and the information you need to join the unit. Unit leaders can also sign up on the website for free by simply joining the website's Discord.